part of its overall generation of models and lineups, Lincoln has launched a second generation of its mid-size luxury crossover, the Nautilus. And to do a first drive event, well, we've come to a nautical setting here in Atlantic, Canada to do a first drive event. So stick around because my first drive of the 2024 Lincoln Nautilus is coming right up.
So we are here on the beautiful East Coast to showcase the all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, which is a super important product for the Lincoln brand in Canada. The size of this vehicle really appeals to a lot of different people. And in fact, in Canada, more than half of the luxury vehicle industry is in this size of vehicle. So we really think this is going to have broad appeal to a lot of luxury buyers. And we really think as well that it's going to be a conquest opportunity for us. We're going to attract new people to the brand in Canada.
This new Nautilus has two powertrains available, one of them gas, one of them regular hybrid. The gas only is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, putting out 280 horsepower. It is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. The hybrid, they say, is an improved variant of Lincoln's 4th generation hybrid, and it has a net combined 310 horsepower. Again, also matted to the 8-speed transmission. It is sort of what they call an eCVT, an electronic CVT type of transmission overall. We've had a chance to drive both on this trip. Neither one of them are, particularly heart racing. They're not overly powerful, and that's fine. Even though there's various drive modes, of the 5 drive modes, there's one called Excite, and I really haven't felt excited while using it. But I don't see this vehicle as being something that is here to excite. It's not a performance oriented. This is a luxury cruiser, high on technology, great on comfort. It's a good riding vehicle, and those who are going to be in this are looking for something that is fuel efficient as well. And once upon a time you'd see 6 cylinders in this type of vehicle. You don't anymore. They've certainly improved on fuel efficiency, and those are numbers in terms of for both the hybrid and the gas only. I will put the fuel economy numbers up in both liters per 100 kilometers and US miles per gallon. They're decent. I think this needs a plug-in hybrid for sure. Heck, I would love to see a Nautilus EV or something of this size for Lincoln, which they've yet to really get into. But for the fuel economy that they have, it's fine enough as it is. Nothing to get excited about, but nothing to complain about either. So when people start talking about the new Nautilus, they're not going to be talking so much about the inside. Again, it's nice, but not too drastically different than it was before. Where they are going to be talking about is on the inside, because this is dramatically different. Prominent among all else is this giant 48-inch widescreen just above the typical center infotainment section. This is a large panel. It is basically all of your information now done differently. This 48-inch screen is divided into as many as 5 different sections, and it is strategically placed to be almost where your heads-up display would have been. In fact, there is no heads-up display option available because what you see here basically takes its place. You sort of have your primary, your sort of secondary, and your optional kind of display things here, and you can customize. So, I mean, we do have your typical information, your driver information, your speedometer, your speed, your fuel economy, or sorry, your speed, your amount of fuel. You also would if you've got, say, GPS, if you're doing some traveling with the maps, you've got it here. But it's on the sort of the right side, where here on your 11-inch center screen, which still exists, you have a series of widgets which you can basically select what you want to have on the 3 right information screens, and they're optional. You can have things from what media is playing, you can have weather, you can have the time, you can have your fuel economy, you can have trip readings, and they basically slide through widgets. And it does work. So, I mean, it really does. Driving, I thought I'd be overly distracted. It is not that way. Now, to assist with this, another important thing that's happened is the steering wheel has been changed in shape. It is a flat top steering wheel. And this again, because you do not want to have, and this happens in a lot of vehicles, the round steering wheel impedes some of the information you want in your driver information display. And since this 48-inch screen is so critical with the overall presentation of this vehicle, they've kind of flattened the top, and it gives almost a kind of a, it's like a racing feel type of wheel, although it's not for that purpose. This is not that kind of vehicle, but it just, it really comes off as different. You still have your piano key, the typical gear selectors that Lincoln has always had. But some of there's sort of a crystallized volume knob and stuff here. So it's an easier presentation. It does have a nice improved look to it. Your seats, of course, typically in Lincoln style, 28 positions, and I think it's too much, I don't know, but better than that. Inside your infotainment screen, you do have the ability for customizing and massaging, so you've got to enjoy the available massage chair, which is good on those long rides. The Revel system is in here. You have a 14 speaker and the upgraded 28 speaker system, which is in here. Oh, and of course this also has Blue Cruise capability. So on divided highways, you have the ability to turn on Blue Cruise, so you'll be hands-free driving. Of course, you have to pay attention when you're doing so. You cannot be, going to sleep. You can't be having a sandwich. You have to be paying attention. And the sensors here are really sensitive. I mean, we've tried to turn our heads a little bit or just even through sunglasses, you'll notice if your eyes are slightly askew, I mean, you're still watching, but it will warn you. So we found that a little bit annoying, but it does. On divided highways all across North America, you do have Blue Cruise capability. Another new feature with this Lincoln Nautilus, well, let's just say sometimes you don't like the smell of a car. Maybe there's a congestion, you're in smog, or there's somebody inside who probably hasn't had a shower or something in a while. Maybe someone's played a little too much hockey. Well, you now have the ability to add digital scents into the HVAC system. So there is a digital scent feature here where you have as many as, you can have up to 3 different scents in here. And the way it works is there's actually these little cartridges which exist down here, and you buy them, and then there's as many as 7 available. You can have 3 in one time. Right now we have Mystic Forest, Ozonic Azure, and Violet Cashmere. I'm sometimes leery of this stuff because it can be overpowering. These ones really aren't too bad. So it's another new feature where you can sort of have a more pleasant smell and a more cruising drive with all this information in the Nautilus. Overall, the design on the exterior isn't too much different, but there's a couple of things I'm just going to grab here the camera to show you a couple of things that are new here on this Nautilus. I want to show you primarily is the new front grille with the LED light bar that you can see my camera in the settings is making fun of. It doesn't normally strobe like that, but the new grille is part of the overall shape. On the hybrid version, the Nautilus here will be illuminated in blue, but you overall have an interesting, basic, generally recognizable body line. One thing I find that's kind of weird, trying to show you to you here, is where the handles are. On the new door handles actually kind of jut out in this weird way, and they're fixed. It's not, I'll try to show you to you here. The buttons are inside. It's at a higher spot. I mean, Lincoln likes to do simple or interesting things like that. But generally, it's a decent line. You've got your contoured shapes and your straight edges. You've got a full LED lighting in the back. Generally aerodynamic. Nothing too exceptional. There are some different trim packages. Large wheels. You have, I was driving on 21s here. There are 20s as well. But decent overall shape on the exterior with the new Nautilus.
Media Drive events bring many automotive journalists together in one place to typically get a first drive opportunity with a new maker model. They typically are staged in locations where drive routes offer plenty of great backdrops for photos or videos, and this Lincoln Nautilus Drive event is no different. Canada's Atlantic provinces provide countless incredible backdrops, as well as drive routes filled with varied terrain and charming places to stop. Our drive route on both sides of the Northumberland Strait took us to 3 of the 4 Atlantic provinces, including Canada's smallest province, Prince Edward Island. And since 1997, PEI has been connected to the mainland by the 12.9 kilometer or 8 mile long Confederation Bridge. It's one of Canada's most notable engineering accomplishments, as it is the longest bridge over a body of water that freezes in wintertime.
So we have the freshest lineup we've ever had in the Lincoln brand in Canada. Starting with the Corsair, that plays in our small premium utility segment. That was new just last year. And then we have the Nautilus, all new ground up refresh that's now in showrooms. And then later this summer, the 2025 Aviator is going to hit, and it gets the same Lincoln digital experience that the Nautilus gets. And then of course there's our flagship, the Navigator.
Pricing and availability for the 2024 Lincoln Nautilus varies between Canada and the US. In Canada, only the Reserve trim is available for this model year and begins at $64,395, including destination and delivery. Switching to the hybrid powertrain will come at a $3,500 increase to the price. In the US, those interested can choose between the Reserve, Premier, and Limited Edition Black Label trims. Starting prices range between $52,010 and $75,250, including destination and delivery. The switch to hybrid in the US will come with a $1,500 surcharge.
This Lincoln Nautilus of 2024 really positions itself as a great luxury cruiser. We really had a good time enjoying the East Coast and all the beauty that is to offer. So if you liked this first drive review of the Nautilus, make sure that you are liking it, sharing it, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so. If you are subscribed, make sure you're ringing the bell so that you're notified of every time I upload something new. That's it from now from the beautiful Atlantic East Coast. I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching.